Hey carnivores, happy October Eve. Well, I don't really have a video tonight of me scarfing down some food. But we had today was leftover ham. We had some earlier today, and then we had some 4 o'clock-ish. It's pushing 8 o'clock now. I'm not really hungry at all, so I'm not going to eat. Unless I get like a little hungry a little later. That's about it. One thing I could say is that the ham cold tastes way better than when it tasted when it was warm. So that was a plus. Actually had a little bit. It tasted a little bit more cherrier too, which was actually really interesting. Started pouring rain today. We have one of our windows open in our living room. Usually by now, within actually the first like 15 minutes of the window being open, my mother and I would be in just severe pain. Knee pain, shoulder pain, back pain, neck pain, leg pain, arm pain, hand pain, anything with the word pain involved. Anything with the word joint, actually, because that's where the pains usually are connected to, is all the joints. So we had none of that, which was very, very, very nice today. But then also on like other things too, we were outside in the weather, trying to hang up Halloween decorations early because the whole neighborhood has started, basically, I guess, yesterday or the day before, so we have to catch up to everybody else. So we were out there hanging decorations, dancing between the raindrops. And neither of us were in pain, stretching, walking, it was great. It's like funny, too, because for years I just constantly was, pill popper, and not even just popping pills, but also most of my heavy drinking was because of my pain. So I'd be taking popping like aspirin and shit, and then chasing it with like a bottle of beer, and the more I drank, the less pain I had. So it'd be like I'd take like 2 or 3 pills, and then those times I was actually starting to overdose, where like like Advil would say like take 2 every 12 hours. I would take 4 and then chase it with like 2 beers, and about like 20 minutes later I felt better. That's killing myself right there, just to stop the pain. Stupid shit, but this is the type of shit you do when you're in just so much severe pain. You don't really think anything through. You just got one vision and just go, and that's all I was doing. It was just I was killing myself to stop the pain, which is such a funny way of wording that, but it's exactly the truth. Other than that, today's been just like another chill, relaxed day. Tomorrow I think it's gonna rain and stuff. There's really not much going on. I can't really do anything on vehicle wise when it's raining. It just fucks everything up. But other than that, today's been a pretty relaxed day. I did take some ham and I cut it into small little pieces and did the same thing with some cheese. And I cracked 2 eggs and put 2 eggs in it and mixed it together, and I threw it in the microwave for about a minute, and then mixed it again and then threw it in for another minute. Basically made myself an omelet. That's what I had around 4 o'clock, so probably the reason why I'm full was because of that. That's really about it. Tomorrow we'll probably have some more ham and try to like finish it off. Tomorrow Saturday, and then we can cook something up differently, Sunday, and then Monday, of course, will be something different. But that's really about it, guys. I got really nothing much to say. I know it's kind of like a very bleak video, but I didn't want to miss it. But just another day of being a carnivore and stuff. Didn't really... Oh, you know what? Actually, before I finish the video and just move on, I actually been trying to hunt down other hot sauces, and I think I found a couple other companies that make hot sauces that are just absolutely no chemicals in it. So I've been doing that as well, going through shit, making sure everything says organic, checking like the write-ups, how they get their fruit and stuff, and all the little ins and outs of how they get their stuff, where they get it from. That's kind of like one of these things now that I do, and it's like so funny, like just thinking about like things I used to do in the past, and now it's just like it used to be like, oh, I want that hot sauce, this hot sauce, that hot sauce. And now I just avoid it. And actually, what's one of the things that I've been finding that's things that I find stupid, I call them comical. They're not really ha-ha. They're just stupid. So, in the process of looking for the hot sauces, I'm finding all these different companies. Well, the first thing that I look at, of course, and I know everybody would do the exact same thing, is Whole Foods, right? Because I'm on Whole Foods as it is looking for stuff. So I'm like, alright, let me see what they got, for hot sauces and stuff. So I'm on there and I found a couple companies and stuff. I'm like, okay, this is good. And then I'm like, oh, okay, cool. They got organic ones. I'm like, oh, okay, organic. That's good, right? Because that's the road we're heading on. Their organic hot sauces has the X-Gam in it. X-Gam. Why? Why is the stuff that you guys label organic not organic? You got like bullshit organic ingredients in the beginning, and then boom, X-Gam. I keep saying gam. X-Gum. Why the fuck? What the fuck? You're supposed to be organic. That's not organic. That's chemicals. That is the opposite of organic. So I kind of thought that was comical. It was like, oh, organic hot sauce, and it says Whole Foods on it, and it's like, meanwhile it's not. And then you go to like Dirty Dicks, and doesn't say anything about organic, and it will just talk about everything in there, and there's absolutely no chemicals. It's like, why are these people doing shit like this? Why are they damaging us with this type of just let's kill the population off, mentality, I guess you want to call it. I don't know how you want to word it. I know that's probably like the worst way of wording something, but it's kind of how I'm starting to feel after a while, because it's like, it's like, wow, what the fuck, man? It's like, and all this shit is bad for you, and then it's like, you go on there and you look, and it's like, oh man, I am looking at some really bad stuff. So I kind of thought, I wouldn't say it was comical, but I kind of thought it was very interesting on how, all that stuff is. It's just mind-boggling how, the stuff that's there is just, it's like the worst thing in the world for you. Why would you guys do that to yourselves? Why would you, intentionally poison yourselves with this toxin? It's mind-boggling. The shit that I see out there. It just blows my mind on how, how people these companies just push this product out and they just don't care. So, I don't know. Just, like I said, it was just freaking interesting. You're supposed to be organic and you're not. You're just bullshit. So, and not all their stuff is like that, but, majority of the stuff that I found, it was like, wow, what the hell? Why is you guys advertising this as a bottle of organic stuff, and it ain't organic. It had more chemicals in it than it actually had ingredients of actual vegetables. And then I'm like looking at other companies that are like $1 or $2 more, give or take, and they got all full, fruits and not fruits, vegetables, a couple fruits and stuff, and I'm like, okay, good, and then it's like, what the fuck? Like, this is nuts, man. This is just freaking cancer causing stuff right there. And when you look it up, that's all that stuff is too. I'm not just saying it to bullshit you people. You look up this stuff, and it's some legit dangerous stuff that's in the food that you're eating and stuff. And it's like, hey, why are you guys putting this in there? Well, because it's cheaper. So if you want to think about it in a comical sense, right? So I wouldn't always say this works 9 times out of, it's probably like 9 times out of 10. But if something costs less than something else, it's probably because it has more chemicals in it than it actually has the legitimate shit. But that's also not always true, because there are some times Stuff that is like, let's say, $30, $40 bottle of hot sauce, and it's got more chemicals in it than the tires on your car. So it's like, do I really want to put the same stuff in my system that they're laying down on the highway? No. So why are these companies putting it in our food, and then how are they getting away with it? Oh, but the FDA says it's great. But then when you actually do research on it, it's like, oh, it's been linked to cause cancer. Who the fuck's at the FDA who says this is safe? Who the fuck's running this place? It's just mind-boggling. Mind-boggling the shit that I fucking say. Oh, the FDA, the FDA, the FDA is full of fucking shit. They're not checking shit. They don't care. They don't care because it's kind of like the same mentality. You know, I've worked at places before when, you know, I say, oh, this costs this much and this costs that much. And people that work there would go, oh, I don't care. It ain't my vehicle. Okay, well, it's not your vehicle, but, you know, that customer is the reason why you get paid at the end of the week. So it's better to keep your customers happy than to have the mentality of like, well, I don't care, it's not my vehicle. That's not how you should act. You should realize, like, geez, you know, this is really expensive. You know, maybe is there an alternate part? Maybe there's an aftermarket part. Maybe there's a different route they can take. Maybe they don't have to change the part out because it's really not broken. You're just changing it for some stupid reason. You know, oh, I don't care, it's not my vehicle. So it's that same mentality that I feel like, you know, we're being treated by the FDA, people from the FDA and stuff, man. They're going to see this video, they're going to fucking knock on my door. Good, I'm going to tell them right to their face, you guys are assholes. Do you put this in your mouth? Of course you don't. You guys are sitting at home growing your own food, getting special food that is untainted of chemicals and stuff. I know, I went on a rant, but it's true. People got to get out there and start doing your research. Start looking at stuff. You know, buy some fruits and vegetables out of the supermarket. Leave them in your kitchen. And then see how long it takes for them to rot. And then grow your own plants the fall season. Take a couple of test subjects that has never been molested with pesticides and fertilizers and shit. And do the same thing with those. Leave them out and see how long it takes for them to decay. And they'll be pretty quick. Same thing with cheese. The cheese I've been having has like none of the chemicals in it. It's so different. It melts like you would think cheese would melt. You know, melts almost down into like a milk. You know, I'm like, not milky, but, you know, it melts down like cheese. You know, I remember the first time, like, you know, I keep saying it, but I remember when I was like in my early 20s, I was like 21, 22, and I was at a friend's house, and all they had was Velveeta cheese. I love Velveeta. They had it, you know, and it was in the little package. You pull it out of this plastic package that I always thought was stupid. And mac cheese was the same way. And I was like, all I wanted was like cheese on my cheeseburger. So I melted it. My cheese, there was like burgers that were left over that were cold. So I took the burger patty, put the cheese on top, melted it. The burger was sizzling in the microwave, and the cheese just kept its form. And I'm like, this is weird. And it like was barely melted. Why is that? When you look at it, it's like cheese culture and then 30,000 freaking ingredients. And if you actually start researching each of those ingredients after the first 4, you're like, oh, I'm done. I don't want to know anything else. I mean, same thing like cheese in a can. I mean, whoever thought that was safe? I mean, come on, guys. You know, it's like the same thing like, you know, if you look at, let's say, like chocolate. Here's a good one, right? Because none of us are having chocolate on this diet. So I could say this now and ruin everybody's life. Is chocolate hard? Or is chocolate soft? That's the question. Is chocolate naturally hard or is it naturally soft? Here's another one. I want you guys to do the research on that one. I know the answer. I'm not saying. You might have bought it before, and I know I've bought it, and I know I've eaten plenty of it. You ever heard of Shell? Ice cream topping. Starts off as a liquid, right? And you pour it on your ice cream, and it gets hard. It's crunchy. It's great. It tastes good. You ever look at the ingredients on that? You ever wonder why all of a sudden that happens? Oh, but it's cold. Yeah, but what is in it that's cold that's making it hard? Because snow is water originally, right? So when the rain turns into snowflakes and the snowflakes land on the ground, they're fluffy. They're not hard. And that's as cold as ice cream. Maybe sometimes colder, depending on where your ice cream came out of. How could that 32 degree temperature turn this chocolate liquid into like a brick? What is the chemical makeup that's doing it? Oh, well, that's what happened. It's physics. It's science. No, it's not. It's chemicals. If you look at the back of that and you actually see what's in it, it's going to tell you. And it's not going to tell you this is what makes it hard. It's going to tell you a bunch of stuff. And then you're going to look down to it. And eventually you'll find something that'll tell you, oh, this is what makes it hard. It's kind of like for a while ago, back when I was really, really younger, in my early 20s, probably about 10, 11 years ago. All my friends and I, we were like into Powerade and Gatorade and Monster. And sometimes we take, Gatorade that you had half empty from the day and you pour Monster in it and shake it up. And you had this Monster Gatorade. Great thing for you, right? You had electrolytes and crack. And you're like a crack bunny all day. And so we would have like blue or green Gatorade per se. I would say, yeah, it was probably blue or green. Usually that was our flavors we went for. Well, don't you know that at some point in time during the day, when one of us had to go take a piss or shit, guess what color our fecal matter was? Urine or shit didn't make a difference. It always came out a shade of greenish blue. Well, that's when we would ask, other people, oh, it's the food coloring. You're right. They're right. It is. It's the food coloring. You're absolutely right. 100% right. I'm not denying you. I'm not being sarcastic. You're right. It is. It's food coloring. But it's also food coloring and other chemicals. And if you think about it, if you're pissing out, which is a very delicate organ on your body, because you got your liver, and then your urethra, Franklin, and shit comes out. If you really think about it, the urine that's coming out of your body, okay, goes through a little tube. Doesn't matter if you're male or female. Yes, that's right. There is only two genders. But scared everybody. Okay, wow. There's gonna be a lot of hate mail coming now. There's always been two genders. I don't care what you call yourself. Bylaws tell you. Oh yeah, I just ruffled 8 million snowflakes in the world. Everybody's body has the same tubing, okay? So if you're peeing this greenish, bluish liquid, what's it doing to the rest of the inside of your body? That's what worries me. What's that doing to the lining of the inside of your intestines, your liver, your urethra Franklin? What's it doing to the inside of it? It's doing something to it. It ain't doing anything good to it. I can tell you that much, because it ain't something that's great. It kind of makes you wonder. What was that? What was those chemicals doing? And it would be half an hour or so after we drank the shit. It wasn't like it took months or weeks. I mean, that'd be even worse. It was like right away, pissing a different color. And we always thought it was funny and cool and shit, because we're dumb. We're young. We fucking didn't care. We didn't think anything bad was gonna happen down the line. Till now, and you start, people having different issues. People having, prostate cancer. Oh, it's from drinking. Oh, it's from cigarettes. Yeah, those might not help, but I guarantee you 90% of that stuff is actually from the food you eat. It's from what you're drinking. I mean, there was a time that, I'm trying to remember. I know someone had told me this, and I kind of did research on it, but I had heard that there was a accidental active chemical in Coors Light that's also considered and called formaldehyde. And certain people were able to smell it, and when they confronted them about it, they denied it. But when there was tests done, they had found out that there was a so-called inactive chemical in the beer that was formaldehyde that was, in their words, was meant for helping the fermentation process of the beer. Now, I've made my own beer in the past. It's really not that hard to make it. You could buy the little kit, comes out tasting like shit. But you use yeast. I've made wine. I've made it actually hooch. And if you don't know what hooch is, go look it up online. It's also considered as prison wine. It's basically, well, I can't really tell you why, because then it's kind of borderline telling people how to make alcohol. But look it up yourself. It's really simple. The ingredients are online. And it basically costs you probably like $5-6 at the most. Maybe $10. But here's the issue. Trying to make hooch now? All those juices that I would use have tons and tons and tons of chemicals in them. Hell, take V8 juice for an example. Some V8 juices aren't that safe. They got more chemicals in them than you would think. Oh, but it's 100% natural. Yeah, it's 100% naturally chemically molested. That's a scary thought, right? I love how this is supposed to be like a 10-minute video. We're 20 minutes into ranting and raving about things that are bad for you. But I didn't want to turn this video into a rant session. But it's something that, I keep pushing to you guys. You gotta look shit up. You gotta look shit up. It's really not that freaking hard. Let's see. Let's see. I have a bottle here. This is Beach House Pinot Grigio. That thunder sounded like it was right outside my house. Dry white wine, product of Italy, contains sulfates. Okay. Lazy day, long weekends, crisp and zesty. One of my favorite wines. I'm not really on it. So would that be something I would buy again down the line? I don't know. I'd do more research on it. Trying to find something here that's like a consumable I have near me. Oh shit! Oh, here's another one. Beard oil, right? Okay. Formulated without parabens, phthalates, petroleum, and SLS. Why would beard oil, or beard balm, which is what this is, have petroleum in it? Okay, now just think of this in a real hot minute. And we only got a couple minutes left, thank God. And like 7 minutes left of me torturing you. If you were lucky to make it this far into the video. For people out there who smoke, everything on the thumb, pots, cigarettes, cigars. Imagine you did your beard with Mr. Petroleum. And light something up. Whoosh. Now theoretically, if you really think about it, the only way gasoline and diesel and kerosene and stuff is flammable is the gas, not the liquid. But that's not the point I'm pointing at is that your beard is a direct line to your bloodstream, okay? Your pores, hello. So if you're coating yourself with petroleum, and you're like, man, it smells like gasoline all day. So this one I got here has olive, beeswax, cannabis sativa seed oil, safflower seed oil, aloe leaf extract, pear fruit extract, and citronella and aloe. That was the smell I was trying to think of yesterday. I was smelling this thing. I'm like, don't smell like cannabis. I'm like, this smells really familiar. I used to grow them in my backyard. Not cannabis. Citronella. So citronella, which everybody's like, whoa, that's a bug spray. Actually, no, citronella is a wonderful plant. And if you grow them, it's better than actually having the citronella candles. I proved that theory years ago. When I bought my house, I had a citronella candle here, and it would burn, and we'd cough from the smoke, and the mosquitoes would still bite the shit out of us. Then I tried to find an alternative way, and I bought some citronella plants. I put them on the table. I harvested the plants, mixed water and the leaves together in a blender, got it down into this greenish liquid, put it into clean spray bottles, sprayed it on myself. Smelled pretty good. Smelled like citronella. It smells good. Some people may not like it. I'd sit outside. Not one mosquito would bite me. I mean, nobody would go near me either, but nothing would bite me. It was great. Then I mixed it with some garlic. It was even better. Vampires, neighbors, weirdos stayed away from me all the time. It was great. I smelled like a walking garlic citronella plant. Nothing would bite me, though. It's great. All natural. All natural. You can make it at home. Make your own bug spray at home. Catmint, citronella plant, and some garlic. Just put it in a blender together. Strain it out. Put it into a spray bottle. That's it. That's it. You're done. I mean, the oils and the pigments from those plants, you might want to watch out with your clothes, I'm going to say, because that's pure pigment coloration. And you got to think of the Native Americans, how they used to dye their clothing and stuff was through plants and stuff and berries. So, you know, you start spraying your white shirt with this greenish, brownish color, you're going to have greenish, brownish shirt, but you're not going to get bit by mosquitoes, though, you know. A lot of times I'll get like the leaf matter and stuff, what was left over, instead of throwing it away, I'd use it as like a butter, or not a body butter, Jesus Christmas, and I'd rub it all over my arms and legs, and it worked the same way too. You know, it was great. So anyway, guys, I'm just going to end the video before I start talking about other things I used to rub on myself, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. I'll definitely see if we can try to polish off the ham. Probably not. Hopefully we will. I'd like to move on to something else. I got some lamb I want to do. I got some crab legs, some other stuff, some lobster. I don't know what a lobster makes. Snap, snap. Anyway, later.